Women have been protagonists of the transformations of Montevideo during its 300 years. Recognizing the contributions of women in daily life and in the consolidation of democracy is a key to understanding our history. Women joined the Artigas struggles and defended their territories, lancers, and racialized women who fought against the colonizers. At the beginning of the 20th century, with their struggles for political and civil rights, feminist movements were key to building the egalitarian pillars of today's Uruguay. Women who thought about the education of our country, defending its laicism, free and obligatory nature. Women trade unionists, who claimed their right to equal pay for equal work and labor laws. Women suffragists who promoted the right to vote and civil rights to guarantee economic and social autonomy as full citizens. Women of culture and the arts who built an imaginary for each period of our history. Faced with the crisis of the 60s, women fought against high prices and inflation, organizing themselves to sustain the family basket and rebelling against injustices in different social movements. They were also key in the resistance to the dictatorship and in the recovery of democracy. During the dictatorship, they suffered the consequences of repression on their own bodies and were the support of their families, creating networks of mutual support. Houses, unions, squares, and prisons were the stages of this struggle. In the 90s, after the decentralization of Montevideo, spaces for participation were created. Women's and feminist organizations were weaving a network among themselves and with the Latin American feminist movement. The international feminist agenda reflected the demands of women, which encouraged them to organize, mobilize, and demand their rights. The 21st century dawned with the expansion of feminisms. Women and their organizations returned to the streets, expressing their weariness and rebellion against the persistence of inequalities. The fight against domestic violence, the legalization of abortion and political participation were its main banners. The movement was set in motion. Women recognized themselves as autonomous and diverse, broadening the range of demands. Thus, organizations of Afro-Uruguayan women and dissidents, of educators, teachers, and professors, of popular feminists and eco-feminists, new spaces for women in unions, in culture, and carnival, in neighborhoods and study centers, emerged. Thus, the 300 years are crossed by the history of women and feminism. Feminist traces express this great diversity, its plurality, its tensions, and agreements. Many places in Montevideo synthesize the memory of rebellion, organization, and participation. These sites tell stories and allow events to be relived, bringing them to light. Women in Uruguay were pioneers in the conquest of rights in the region. From universal suffrage to the law on voluntary interruption of pregnancy, including parliamentary and trade union quotas. Feminist Traces is part of the historical memory of the women who made the way, as well as a letter to the future that explains our aspirations as full citizens.